wonderful weekend and you are ready to do something creative, or at least hang out while we do something creative. You can join in as you see fit. Anyway, I'm glad you're here. Let's get straight to the desk so that we can see what we've made with July supplies so far. We've done a fair bit. So we have 2 4x6 photos on Vicky's lovely orangey kind of background here. Then we did 4 3x4s with a blue background. And then we did the Celebrate cut file on a blue ledger with 2 photos smaller than 3x4. And a starting point with 8 tags. And then this one with the sewing machine, which we did on Friday with 2 3x4 photos and a big journaling box. So that's what we have done so far in July. And today we're going to do a little color matching, which means when we go through the kit and we find all of the things that are one particular color and we put them in one spot on the page, and we find a whole bunch of things that are another color and we put them on another spot on the page. And that's the starting point we're going to build. I've got 2 3x4 photos to put on mine that are from a red carpet, but you can put whatever you want onto it because it's a starting point. So that's where we're gonna go. Right, how is everyone? Right, let's see what we've got. The good thing about this layout is that we can use lots of pieces that we've already cut into, which is really great. I wanted to look first at the cut aparts because they can be a great help in kind of organizing where we're going to go with the colors that we block out. So instead of going straight to backgrounds, let's have a look at what we have here. Now I think in the tag layout I used all the colorful tags, but let's just double check. Neutral, 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 yellow. That's the only colorful one I've got left. Okay. Da-da-da-da-da-dum. But we've got color here. So we have, I can tell straight away, the sunglasses and the camera on this sheet are going to be useful thematically. So let's go ahead and grab both of those. Camera and sunglasses. There's definitely going to be a pink section of this page, I do believe. Let's see what other colors. Now we don't have to have a lot of each one. So we've got pink. We could do yellow. We only need that little bit. Then we could bring in this blue. And this nice green. I think that's probably plenty. So let's start there and see how we go. Color wheel wise, we could go, I know we're not using orange, but we could go pink, yellow, green, blue, and then maybe we put a splash of orange over here because the B side of this is orange actually. So let's take the most neutral, aka the one that I'm least likely to use, and use the B side for that. So if we had those 4, orange, yellow, green, blue, and then maybe the pink become accents, and they might become accents right on top of the orange, I don't know. But these will work thematically for me, so I'm going to go with that combination, right? So then once I've done my speech, we're gonna go through and find things in the kit that are orange, things in the kit that are yellow, things that are green, and things that are blue. Make sense? All right. Back to potato can. Shimelle. I teach online scrapbooking classes, design scrapbooking products, and help you use them to tell your stories in a creative way. It's not just my hobby, it is my job, and that means anytime we scrapbook on the internet, it's considered advertising, and legally I need to make sure you're aware of that. So thank you for coming to watch my #advertising. I appreciate you being here, whether you are live, chatty, watch from Tomorrowland, quiet, craft, don't craft, think about coming back to craft. It's all good. In the description box with today's video, you can find links to all the things that might be relevant. That includes these supplies, which are July. Next month is not a full kit, it's just a top up to whatever we have left from July. And that's the August shopping list. If you are shopping through the link today, make sure you don't miss the coupons and freebies page, because there are a whole bunch of different freebies depending on how much you order. And in case you didn't know this, if there are freebies for different price points, you can just stack those. So say you spent $75 and there's a freebie with your order and a freebie when you spend $20 and a freebie when you spend $45. You'd get all three. So that's cool, but you have to add them to your cart. So that's why I tell you, make sure you go and look. One of today's freebies is a whole Halloween paper pad. So if you like Halloween, you might want to check that out, because they're running, I know it's usually Christmas in July that shops run, but they're running Halloween in July. So you can go get some Halloween stuff for this year, should you be short or just like it. Yes, anyway, the other things you'll find linked in the description box include where you can find me elsewhere on the internet. That includes Shimelle.com, where I teach my classes, and you can come join me there. You can also find all the links to find my collections that are in shops now, and that includes Live the Dream, Reasons to Smile, Main Character Energy. You'll find bits and pieces of all of those in shops now, so you can find something that will help you scrapbook stories that you want to tell. I think that's enough of my face and everything else. Let's get back to the desk. It's a button over here today, not under the desk. There we go. All right. So let's see what else we have in these colors. Ooh, we have a whole yellow grid background, which I wasn't thinking about, but actually I like. Oh, I know. Sophia, I have the same problem with this shirt, and I wear it because of that. So if you didn't spot my shirt, it has a Mickey pretzel where the heart would be for like I heart something, like I heart New York or whatever. But it says, I'm Mickey Pretzel, Mickey. And it's just so wrong that I love it. So Sophia says she's too tired for her brain to keep reading it as I pretzel Mickey. You're good, you're good. Okay, so if we start with this, instead of like a plain white, let's see what we can do. So we had a test in our house yesterday, keeping in mind there's one displaced American, one Brit, and one, child who is, I guess, technically half American, but certainly lived experience is here. The test was, how many American states can you name? And then there was a further test for me, which was, how many capital cities could I still remember? Now, keeping in mind in the 3rd grade, I knew them all with their capitals, and both in alphabetical order and on the map. That's the 2 ways we had to learn them. Adhesive Adventure was like, why do you not have to learn them in the order they became a state, like chronological order? I don't know. We just didn't. So anyway, I am quite embarrassed to say, everybody in Connecticut, I apologize. I forgot you were a state. I got to the end and I'm like, I'm missing one. What am I missing? And I even went back and was like, okay, there's lots of states in the East. I've probably missed somewhere in New England. And I went back and I counted, which means I counted something in the East that is not, I counted something that's not that far over. because I got the right number. And I was like, oh, what have I, no, it must be somewhere else. What else did I forget? Yeah, so, and then my capitals, so this was interesting. Capitals have gone from my brain, but would be something that I could really easily get back. Because I had just under half of them. I had 3 wrong, where I thought I knew what it was, or I took an educated guess and they were wrong. But I got some that were kind of obscure, where other people in the room were like, "Is that a town?" And I'm like, "Yes." And then, but once the adhesive vendor had the answer key and he was going through and telling me, I'm like, "Oh, of course." And so it was so many where there was not a single one where I was like, "What?" So they're in my brain. They just need revising. So I think I need to like come back to this test in a little bit. So we're going to get WB to learn them and then learn the states. And then we'll retest and I'll have to do the capitals again. So that was interesting. Virginia says, we don't teach geography in 3rd grade in Texas. My students can probably tell 4 states only. Debbie says it was extra credit because Debbie taught 8th grade. Okay, she taught 8th grade American history and made the students learn the location of the states, about 2 each week. And at the end of the year, they had to locate all 50 on a map, and they could do that. But it was extra credit to learn the capitals. So we learned, she learned them too. Since she graded their papers, we learned them east to west coast. Ooh, see, if you make me just name them in any random order, I will name from west to east. And I get lost, the bit where I really have to think hard. But I didn't miss any of these. I just had to think hard. So the bit I really need to think hard about is clearly Connecticut. But the bit where I kind of get messy and think I'm going to mess up is like Indiana, Kentucky, Tennessee. Like I worry that I'm going to just like lose a state in there. No, I lost the state further east. So I love this mix of like people who had a teacher like me where we had to learn them off by rote, like learn and repeat, ding, 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 ding. And then some of you are like, we never learned that in school, so I don't know. Sophia, on a whim, tried to test her U.S. knowledge to see if she could name them about a month ago. She was missing about 8, and as soon as she went through the list, when she got to the one she was missing, was also like, of course! Yeah. Which state has only 1 syllable? Maine. Yes, Victoria says, have you seen those videos where they interview people, and they're normally on like college campuses in America, and they'll be like, what states can you name? And they can only name like 5. But I do wonder sometimes, especially at the universities they pick, I always wonder, like, how many people did you interview that actually did have this knowledge, and you're just not showing us those? I don't know. But yes, we don't learn the counties in the UK. Yeah, so this was WB's big question. Why do you want me to learn the US states? We don't learn the counties here. And I'm like, well, maybe we learn those next. Yeah. All right, so we got blue stuff here, green stuff here, yellow, orange. Yeah, that's what we're going to do. We're going to find stuff in the kit that matches up there. I don't think... This swimsuit is yellow, but I don't think I can make it work. Okay. Is there anything from this I could make work? We can probably make that ice cream work. Why not? And we can definitely make these sunglasses work, even though they're pink again. Shimelle, why are you cutting into the sticker sheet? Because I don't know where it's going to go yet. And I want to block out my colors. So there we are. Now, I've got an interesting question for you. Ah, it won't go away. There, all right. So put this up with the pink stuff. This is blue. Now, This one is a nice color match, so I'm going to go ahead and cut it out. But the keychain says Happy Place. The photos I have, they are from a happy group of people. Like, being with these people, I think, works for the idea of Happy Place, because it's a shot of 4 friends. The place they're actually at, this venue, is a pain in the neck to get to. It's one of my least favorite venues that we have to travel to. I'd actually take Wembley over this venue any day. So I don't know how I feel about putting Happy Place, and I wondered what is your thought? Indiana. Oh, I missed a word in that, Tony, and I was like, what? We need a history lesson right now. But it's Indiana has had 3 different capitals. I thought you originally just said Indiana has 3 different capitals. I'm like, girlfriend, we have not covered this. So you've had 3 different capitals in Indiana. Amazing. Oh, yes, it's true. We do have counties in the UK that are no longer counties. That whole giving them a title of Wessex, that was kind of early on in my time in this country, and I was like, are we just making up places? Like, I know unicorns are big in kind of British history, so maybe we just make stuff up. Yes, April says you can take it like these people are my happy place. That's what I'm thinking. That's what it's got to be. Right. I also think I can make this multicolored border sticker work. That might be lies, but I'm going to try. So we got a multicolored border sticker. And then can I just grab something of some sort that I can put colored phrase stickers on. So I've got this green one will work. I can do this green one too. Those, okay, so I've got 2 greens. 2 greens that'll work. We can do this light blue. And maybe this light blue, but that can also work. Fair enough. We got 1 orange. That'll work. Yellow, we can have life is good. And have a great summer. Okay, so other than the orange, I've got 2 each. But I don't have any more orange left, so that's what that is. And we've got a tab, a green tab there. I know there's also the orange bottle of soda. I don't think I'm going to be able to make both of them work on here. So I'm going to just start with 1. If I come back later, we can add some more. Okay. And then in papers that I've cut into already, I need to get this back onto the backing sheet. Is the sticker sheet going to make it to the 6x12 page? I'm confused. We got plenty of stickers. We're good, we're good. All right, so I could bring in leaves, which I haven't done yet. So I have these 2 green leaves. I have this. I feel like this one is, oh, there's 2 of those too. But I feel like that's the better match to what's printed there. Oh, see you later, Virginia. Okay, so we'll try that. Okay. I think I got enough to build with here. This is kind of orangey. And this cut apart. Okay, I don't have anything like really yellow, but I'm on yellow background paper. Oh, hold the phone. Oh, that's more orangey too. Okay, I was looking at the branding strip, but it's orange. Okay, what about these branding strips though? Craft, blue, green. Okay, so I have a blue one and a green one just in case I need those. And here, these are more neutral. But what about, no, see, everything's leaning more to the orange than the yellow. Okay. All right. Let's start sticking stuff. Now, we need some inks to match these. Right. Scattered straw. Mowed lawn. I just want to point something out while I'm this. You know, I have all the little ink swatches here. Salvage Patina has to be the one that has changed the most. It doesn't look blue-green anymore. It looks blue. It's very interesting, that. Okay. What blue might I go for? Tumbled gloss, I think. And then do I want to stick with marigold or go brighter with pumpkin? Oh, the bright's nice, isn't it? Should we go bright? Okay. All right. Just wondering, do I want to stencil it, smush it, stamp it? I'm thinking maybe smush and stamp. What do you think? Okay, so let's get a block. The blue is tumbled gloss. I'm going to bring all these things down to the bottom just so I know what order I'm working in. But why? Summer. Get little creatures. Okay. So I need this, and I'm going to need some water, which is not in here. So let's fill this up. With a cameo from the noise of the washing machine. Right. That doesn't matter. We're not going there. So, ink onto block. I'm not gessoing the background or anything. So we're just going to deal with what we get. Yes, you could spray it. My sprayer doesn't work anymore. Okay. Ready? I'm going to let that roll around. Squish. And that's what we get. Then we dry it off, we change color, we start again. So discussion in the live chat that oxides are now available in mini size, which was at one point not working. When they first came out, Tim was like, I'd love to have them in mini size, but the formula is not working. So clearly they spent some time working out how they could do that and get it to do its thing in the right sort of way. And they sell them, according to the live chat, I have not verified this, that they sell them currently in sets, but that eventually you'll be able to buy individual colors. That's the plan. Yellow. He said it took 8 years. Oh, goodness. Right. I am interestingly noting that we've done 2 colors and it's less than half the page. So I need to be a little creative. Mowed lawn from a green. Jim is going to a Vicky workshop this weekend. I believe Vicky has arrived in London today. And she's going to play with oxides with Vicky for sure. Enjoy. Have a wonderful time. Okay. That's me pushing a little further so that I can get enough color on the page. Last one is tumbled glass for the blue. And yeah, I should be seeing Vicky while she's here. If all goes to plan. That's the plan. That's the plan. Okay, so we're a little uneven, but I've got an idea because I could always give this little a frame. So we will see where we go. Right. There's my color combination. And, oh, little earthquake. Sorry. I had a moment today where I was going, ooh, look how productive I'm being getting laundry done on a Monday. And then I realized there's a reason why I don't do laundry on a Monday. Because I'm here. And it's going to shake the table. Okay, and so if I go, I want to stamp on there, so I don't want it to be too high. Let's go along like that. And see, this one, the others are all 3x4, but the yellow is smaller. I think we go like this. That was terribly centered. All right, and then I think we take this. Yes, April. Tomorrow is WB's last day of primary school, and that has all the celebration, ceremony, and party, and all of that goes along with it. So I'm taking that much off that side, so that means I need to take that much off this side as well. And then I'm going to stick it on another sheet of paper to give it a frame. Yeah. So let us see. Not the purple. What else do I have in the realm of just solid cardstock I could layer up with? Or near enough solid. What about this? Can I put it on this? Yeah, just tiny little frame like that. Oh my goodness, Pam, we all want to live vicariously. Pam went to a crop and it was in a real scrapbook store. So she was surrounded by all the things that she could buy, but also just being in a scrapbook store. Oh, lovely. Okay, so this is an old scenic route paper. I've always kept it because I love the tonal greens. Hello, Georgia. How are you? Nice of you to join us. All right. Oh, Georgia's been listening like I'm a podcast in the car. Nice. Okay, so then I was thinking this could come underneath. But it definitely needs some inking because everything else is distressed and it's like, hello, I'm nice and clean and bright. So let's ink her up. Okay, is it a true 12 by 12 sticker? No. Come on. So we're gonna go under the edge of everything here. I love that I just said, is it a true 12 by 12 sticker? Obviously it's not 12 by 12, but was it 12 inches wide was what I was wondering. It's not. Okay, I'm on grid paper, so I need to keep my scallops in their little grid line. Okay, now we have polka dots. Well, not polka dots, we have random dots. It bothers me that I always say polka dots. Okay, let's start adding these extra things. I am going to come back and stamp on this, but it's still wet, so not yet. We're going to bring green tab. Blue ice cream. Do little text tabs. Yay! Michelle bought repositionable adhesive, and now she's living her best life when able to move stuff around. I'm so glad I could help with that. Okay. What else do we want to put on this before we call it a starting point? I actually think that's a decent amount. Do we think that's a decent amount? Should I do the stamping? Oh, I've got this. This one's going to come in here, but I think I better place the photos before I stick that. So we'll keep that as not yet ready. Let's find some little stamps. Yeah, little stamps. Like little happy phrases or something. So what have we got? Great outdoors. No, that's not it. These look like they might be sensible and fun. Okay. So this is, whoops, a Studio Calico and Hero set from 2011. So same ink colors. I still love Kokiu too. Yeah. Right. So we've got just nice, easy pieces to make fit any story, really. All right, that was the end of the washing machine spinning. Okay. So we will. Oh, you're supposed to stop beeping. I just told you. You're all done. What did I do? Oh, I moved it one slot too far and it was grumpy. It actually had a little thing that came up on the screen to say, cannot do this. Cannot, what was the wording? Cannot perform function. That was what it said. Cannot perform function. Oh, I sometimes need a button that says that too. Okay, so we're going to put orange stamping on the orange section. Yeah. And then just stamp it off up like that. But it doesn't, oxides don't do a huge amount like that. I think I want this one on the green. And let's do this right now here. They look like gift bags with the tissue paper. That's cute. So we've got real life. This one's going to say right now. Oh, that's more visible than I thought, so that's good. Yeah, they don't really keep stamping the same way some inks would. That's good. And then I want the blue to have the one that says the end. That one could be more visible. I'm just going to leave it though. All right. Then we need some nice little confetti kind of stamps, like small shapes. What do we got? What do we got? Oh, here. Does that have a star then? No, it's just a flower. I wanted a star. This one does. Okay. This is a scrapbook.com one that we had in a kit ages ago, and it's the vintage type lower, and we've got stars and heart confetti here. So. So inking for the ones that are over the over the color already, so that these are nice and saturated, and then just keep stamping up to the top. That's my plan. Green. Interestingly, so of those 4 colors, it's the tumble glass that doesn't really stamp over itself particularly well. All of the others, you can see how the color, when you put another layer on it, it's nice and clear. But not the blue, because you can only see the stamping in this section where there isn't so much ink. So I'm going to put bonus stars in that section. There we go. All right. Hello, Leslie. And Kirsty. Okay, so I think that's where we call it a starting point. All right, and you can use this just as an idea as well without having to follow what I've done here. But this is something that I always come back to when I want to work with scraps or small pieces of paper, is that you can line up your color and be like, okay, so this is the orange zone of the page and this is the yellow zone. And maybe you want to do it in quadrants instead of columns, yeah? Tony says, how about distress ink? It probably would work over the top, but I'm just in my oxide era now. I don't really use the normal distresses anymore, and they are on my list to hit my vintage resale very soon. Okay, so let's get this so that you can see the whole thing, and we'll take a little screenshot of that. Okay. Now, what am I going to do with it? Well, I've got these 2 3x4 photos, and one is black and white and one is color, which I've done twice this month, because remember, I did it here too. One black and white, one color. Both of them are different photos, but they are, you know, the same people, that sort of scenario. Okay, so let's have a little bend and snap. Do, 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 do. Wow, so Kirsty's been to London and she saw Fiddler at the Barbican and Oliver. Both were wonderful. And Carrie's just been here and saw Evita at the Palladium. You've all been seeing such good things. Amazing. Right, so we are going to trim this right down. And here are 4 friends on a red carpet. I think they need a pink carpet to match the banner, but we'll see what happens. They have a red one currently. Okay, so that's my journaling zone. So I want to bring these over here. That'll work. Okay, so we're mostly going to cover the yellow. And to give them a little separation but not lose my color zones, I'm going to put them on vellum. That way. Now we're going to end up like that. Now, what I'm interested in is to see, should the leaves for the green zone go over the vellum or under it? Over. Under. I like it under. Auntie Caffeine is joining us now with very curly hair and clean dishes. Amazing. Oh, should have gone further over to the left. Okay, so we'll have that green like that. And we'll tuck this behind here. Maybe I just run this one along the bottom here. And just one green, I think. We'll put it over here. All right, let's have a look. Do we just do a nice big remember? I think so. Oh, do I like that? Because originally I wanted it further to the right, and then I thought, no, connect it to the photos a little more. Look at it on the screen. Yeah, I like it better to the side. Okay. Right, but then we want to make that diagonal work with black. So we're going to take a big arrow up here. I know I cut out those pink things, but I don't think I'm going to make them work. So we're going to stay like this. Now, dots. We do have yellow dots here. But then we're going to need some others to make this idea work. So I had some orange from another kit. Okay. Green and blue. Blue, let's see what we got. Like that. Now, a little stash dive here because this, no, the yellow is from Doodlebug. That's from the Doodlebug background pack. That's a petite print. Okay, but these are from Stash. This is an older Vicky collection, and I was just thinking that would be a nice little mix here. There's not an orange one, so there's a black and white one though. We'll see what I can do with the orange, but I think this is going to be cute. So we'll do yellow, green, blue. What do I have? Just a little star there. And in the orange, why did I just, the yellow and the orange are kind of connecting. Maybe I do that. Yeah? Okay. Journaling. Some on here. I think definitely their names on here and then handwritten here. But this needs something. So let's kind of work out. This is great, but doesn't quite fit. Let's have a look at die cuts of Kit's past to see if there's something that might work. Oh, that one actually had chipboard butterflies, but just in orange. Okay. Hello, Corey. How are you feeling? Oh, we got a little orange heart. That can always work. And an orange side of a pie chart. Okay, that's probably enough. So we'll pop that underneath. Glad that you're stable, Corey. As much as I love an exciting life for you, not that kind of excitement. Oh, April likes what the pie chart does with the colors. And then what do we think about putting that? So we'll lose a little bit of it. Not sure about the placement of the heart. Maybe it needs to come further here and just have some open space there. Okay. And then do I come back to that color that I used up there? Like that. Keeping in mind that this won't look so plain once it's filled with writing, and this won't look so plain once it's filled with writing. Make sense? Ah. And Tony says the colors work really well together. Shh, it's easy, look. Just go along the rainbow. Yeah. Orange, yellow, green, blue. So you could also go back and do red, orange, yellow, green. Or you could go forward and do yellow, green, blue, indigo, violet, purpley, whatever. Yeah. But if you put them in spectrum order, it's always going to feel quite natural as you go from side to side. Now, could I have got way more technical and beautiful with the 4 splooshing spots? Yeah. Ray, let me write that down so I can see what's up. Will Ray, if I search for Ray as your first name, you don't have to tell me any more details. Just if that's just tell me if you've got a completely different name is what I mean. Okay, cool. And then yeah, there's pink and red in the photo. And the reason I went black and white and color. So this banner is actually white, but it's being lit by constantly moving stage lights. And so in every shot, this is changing color. And to have them side by side, because like they are walking here and I liked the energy of that, then the 2 backgrounds are different colors. Okay, let me write that down. Thank you, Ray. Okay. So yeah, to have one in black and white, then I could still have all the attention be on the kids and not be on like, why are the backgrounds different? Why have they posed in front of 2 different backgrounds? Yeah, because they look like 2 different things. But here now they look like the same thing, just one in color, one in black and white. Yeah. Let's put some gold on here. All right. Take it up like we did with all the embellishment here. So start in the splotched color and move it up to the top of the page. Because this has gold glitter, I'm going to put some more down here. And then just a bit around the title here on this corner. Now, once the journaling's in place, if it looks a little too open here, then I might add just some little enamel dots or a sticker or something, because I do have one more green sticker I could put in there. There we go. Auntie Caffeine says, do you ever feel like the gold goes in the wrong spots and you wish you could erase it? The gold always goes somewhere else than I wish, and I just accept that the gold mist knows better than I do, and it goes to where it is destined to exist, and that helps my mindset. You can't control it. You can kind of predict. The things I don't like is when it makes a straight line of dots, when it goes and you're like, why? What, you're supposed to splash? Why did you draw me a perfect line? Other than that, I'm good. All right. Allie, yep, we're just at the end now, so you can scroll back to the beginning if you'd like. Okay, so let's have a little zoom in on things here. So we've got the orange section, and I think you probably could add some orange ink to the black and white puffy to make it match if you wanted to. What happens? Here you go. It's orange now. I'm quite forgiving. Okay, so we got orange, yellow, green, and blue, and then our title down here. A green puffy, a little bit of work on the orange section. And then because my cards didn't take us equally side to side, chopped a tiny bit off that yellow doodlebug background and put it on a scenic root green that's been in mustache for a young person's lifetime. And then I'm going to put their names in here and the story part in here, and it'll be all done. I'll do all that writing in black. Yeah. So you can take this idea and just do columns, quadrants, circles. You could do 4 circles. You could do 4 circles that way, whatever you like. But color zones. So you pick 4 colors, and then you go through the supplies that you have to hand, and you put all the things that are that color in that section of the page. So you can do color zones however you like. You can keep using the idea and come up with different things all the time. All right? Thank you so much for joining me. I'm so glad that you could. You can give this layout a thumbs up, or the video a thumbs up if you like the layout. Yeah. And I will be live again here on Friday, possibly with a special guest, because school will be out then. So don't worry, he's not going to be on all the videos all summer, but I might allow it on Friday if he has a plan. We'll see. We'll see. Right. So that's everything. Also, if you're in class, I'm just going to put this on Instagram shortly, but if you're in class, Old Stash will have videos Wednesday night, Thursday night, and a live stream on Friday afternoon. And Punches, you are going to have new content on Thursday and possibly one more toward the end of the week, but I don't want to get too over the top there. I will say, if you're still having trouble logging in, it has got a lot better, but it's not perfect. So if you get an error and it's saying it won't load the page, please do try to just refresh a few times or leave it a couple minutes and come back, because it's not anywhere near as problematic as it was last week, but it's not 100% perfect either. Is that okay? That's just an honest, non-technical assessment of where we are. I hope that's cool. The Friday afternoon live stream, I think, is going to be 2 o'clock, but please don't quote me on that just yet, okay? I might have to change it, but I'm aiming for 2 o'clock. Okay? Thank you so very much. Have a wonderful week, and I'll see you soon. Bye!